Hi guys. This is There's Always a Choice podcast with Althea and Robert.
What's up?
We're live again. So for today's topic, we're going to be talking about is blood thicker than water. So let's put it in simple, because I already know what your answer is. I'm pretty sure you already know what my answer is too, right?
Got no idea right now.
You don't know my
It's
answer?
up in the air. Yeah, I know your answer. I got an idea.
For me, for sure. Just like to put it in short off the bat, obviously, no, I don't think blood is thicker than water. That's shit. Both liquid. It's both. I don't think one is for real. I don't think one is
Yeah. Blood thicker than water, you're basically talking about like family and friends
Hmm?
when you're comparing the two.
I think for the blood thicker than water, it's more so comparing like family to anybody else, because blood is who you share blood with, etc. So I guess when people say that, it's more so like you're supposed to put your family first. It's more like a family oriental type thing to say,
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like, okay, in a way, you could use that saying even if you're not really like family oriental like that, because let me break this down. So what I'm thinking in my head, like for blood thicker than water, I'm thinking like the family you were born into. But I feel like that term would probably more so like go with the family that you choose for yourself. That's what I feel like it would more so like vibe with me. Like, okay, I guess that's a little bit, because you would want to, like, the family that you create, of course you would want to like make sure they're taken care of and stuff like that. But I don't know, the saying is blood thicker than water. I can't get behind it. I can't.
A lot of sayings you don't have to get behind. I think you get to choose in life your path. So blood thicker than water is like, it's easier said. Like, people try to choose a path for you, but be confident in taking your own steps. So if certain family or people in general, but the family born in move a certain way, do certain things, make you feel like less than or just awkward or weird, it's not things you have to put up with. Like, you could speak your piece.
Exactly. And that's why it's like with the phrase, I literally cannot get behind it, because it's like with anybody, not even just with family or anything. If somebody's being toxic, abusive, or just anything like that to you, you shouldn't be forced to stay around just because they're your family. It that literally makes zero sense. Like like, why would I have to, especially at my big age, like why would I have to put up with negative patterns or negative situations, and I don't have to. Like, I literally don't have to, but a lot of people will say to stick around because it's your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And are you busy?
No.
You're not busy?
No. I was actually reading the text about like the blood.
About is blood thicker than water? That's what you're reading the text about?
No. All right, so the text was about my girlfriend, and she was getting a little aggressive. So a friend was like, yo, you don't got to get abused. If you want, I can help you get out of the situation, right?
What are you talking about? So, you're in an abusive relationship?
No, I'm not. But we were playing around.
Okay.
And then, at the moment we were playing, someone hit my line through text. It was like, what's going on? I was like, I'm probably just getting roughed up right now. It's like, hey, yo, don't get abused. If you need help, let me know. So I wanted to read the text to, let people know if you're out there. And like you said, situations like, families, life itself could be crazy. So there's family members, man. Some of them, they bully you, they abuse you physically, emotionally. And if you need help, there's people that you could, call, talk to. There's therapists, counselors. I don't have the numbers. I don't have all the research. There's certain stuff you could look up.
Yeah.
Hotlines. It's upgraded now to the point you don't have to talk on the phone to somebody. You could text them if you're not comfortable in speaking. So I just want to let y'all know that if there's somebody out there who probably needs an outlet, and you don't have creative outlets or friends or a shoulder you can lean on, that one person and say, hey, can you be a space for me to open up about what I'm going through?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, also Therapy, oh my gosh. Like, if you're not in therapy or you've never been in therapy before, don't be afraid of therapy. And that's a thing is with a lot of like black people and stuff like that, I feel like we're more hesitant to go to therapy. But then if you grew up in a toxic like family environment, therapy could really help you out because you're also getting another person's perspective that's completely outside of it. That can also show you like certain things where you may feel like you're taking blame for something. And it's like, it's not even your fault to begin with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's also important. But then another thing with the is blood thicker than water that I was thinking about. I feel like blood can be thicker than water in some senses. Like, let's say you didn't grow up with a toxic family environment, right?
Yeah.
And your family was great to you. You guys had amazing relationships and stuff like that. And then it's a situation to where you could either help, you know, a family member that was amazing to you or a friend that was amazing to you. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to go for that family member because it's your family at that point. And it's like they weren't toxic or anything like that. But then again, in the sense of if they're toxic, whatever, and then it's like, oh no, blood thicker than water, so it don't matter what type of BS I did to you, you know, etc. Like you should be wanting to help me out first. Nah.
Yeah.
In that case, it's like, nah, now you're doing too much. But
Hopefully you got understanding friends and family that know that you will help them if they could. And in situations where you might have to choose, like, do what you can. Make the best decision in front of you and go from there, because nobody should make you feel guilty about not being able to help them. You know, so now you probably in a turmoil of you help one person, you didn't get to help another person. You feeling away because you couldn't help everybody. Also remember that even though blood is thicker than water, that you come first. You gotta take care of yourself. How they say, pour from a full cup. Make sure that you solid, you good, you grounded, and you coming from a place where helping someone else doesn't put yourself last. You know, because there's some people out there that you can help them, and it'll mean the world, and it's a vibe. And there's some people out there that you can help them, and it doesn't mean nothing until the next time you're able to help them. So you gotta figure out like the reasons you're doing it for, and don't let nobody put you in a corner where you don't want to be at. You got a choice. There's always a choice.
And to piggyback off of what you just said, you just reminded me of this saying that I heard a while back where it says, don't light yourself on fire to keep others warm. Like, you know, you really can't, like, if you're hurting from helping other people out, you have to take care of yourself first and foremost, you know, like, self is kind of the most important thing. Like, you can't help other people out if you're not helping yourself. Well, technically you can, but that's not going to last for a long period of time, you know, like, eventually you're going to get drained. Eventually you're going to start feeling depressed, a whole lot of stuff, because you're just giving out and nothing's being replaced back into you.
Like, you should sleep good. You should feel good about how you move in life, and draining yourself to, what's that, people pleasing?
Oh yeah, people pleasing.
Doing too much for other people.
Yeah.
Based on, oh, that's your family. Or putting up with things based on, that's your family. And we don't know what somebody else is going through unless we share or you know that other person personally and they open up to you. And sometimes somebody might not even tell you everything. They can tell you that the stuff they're comfortable with in a moment, because some things are so like raw that you might not have a platform, a safe space to say, hey, this is what's really going on with me. You could say, yo, could I share something with you? And you go over like the subject, and you got the body of work, whatever happened, but you might not put in all the details, because sometimes we really be out there sparing people because we'll hold things back. But I come from a place, a mindset where I say like, yo, the story might sound bad. I'm not trying to make anybody sound bad, look bad, or feel bad. I'm doing what I can from my point of view to describe the actions that occurred. So if you want a better story told about yourself, like, behave yourself. Just act right. And real quick, for the record, my girlfriend is not abusive. She's an angel. She's a sweetheart.
I am abusive. Anyways, that's besides the point. Another thing I was gonna mention earlier, I'm gonna piggyback off of something that you had said earlier. Kind of feeling like you have an obligation to help like your parents and stuff like that, because obviously they raised you, you know, they kept you safe for long enough that you lived, whatever. Not in all cases, but in most cases, you know, kind of feeling like you have to help them or things like that. But one of her sisters were going to help out their stepdad, well, her stepdad, auntie's actual dad. Anyways, he was horrible to her when they were younger, and now she has to basically take care of him and wash him, feed him, do all of this and all of that. And it's like she feels the obligation because none of my other aunties and uncles, whatever, want anything to deal with him because he sucked. So it's like now she's stuck basically helping this man that abused her for so much of her life, basically. And it's like, that really sucks. But like, I'm thinking if I was in her position, that man's going in a home because I'm not dealing with it. And I'm thinking like, even with my own experiences, like, yeah, I would not like, he would be going in the home. Like, for real, like, why am I going to be, no, like, for real, like, it's like he made her childhood like horrible, like to the point where she couldn't even be a child. So it's like, why is she gonna now? I mean, hell, that's her decision, you know. Obviously, if she wants to take care of him, then she can for however long till the rest of his life is over. But for me, that's not for me. He going in.
You get to choose too. How about taking care of parents and stuff? Like, I'm gonna be hitting remixes. I'm gonna be hitting remixes.
Oh,
yeah. Like, oh, we out? Guess what? There's food at home.
What? You trying to say them?
Yeah, if we going on a trip, they be like, oh,
stop by.
I don't know what old people eat at.
You got
not old people, you know, like other people. Yeah, they're like, stop here. Like, you got to stop here money. This
reverse.
Oh, reverse card.
Nah,
wow, that's what we doing now.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. I'm on. What? Nah.
That's it. All right.
What? It's different.
What you
I
mean?
don't got a problem with being kind. It's cool. But as far as homes, somebody could take care of, whoever it is. Even it's about taking care of yourself. Listen, you gotta live for the day, enjoy your moments, but also plan something for tomorrow. We don't know how people gonna go. We don't know how life gonna go, because with this whole pandemic, like, there's people stuck in other countries, can't get back. So do you have something to lean on? Do you got some money? You take care of yourself? You're going to have to find a job, however it is. You don't want to be like an elderly person that went on vacation either from a foreign country in America or from America to a foreign. If you're American, you're out there somewhere, man, listen, they act like America, really? Why the world acting like Florida made the virus? Bro, Florida get blamed for everything. Anything happen, like, Florida wilding out again. Like,
no, they're not blaming Florida for the virus. They're blaming Florida for, keeping the pandemic where it's at. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, Florida's we're pretty shitty. We're like, motherfuckers not wearing masks.
Florida gonna fall back though.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyways. We getting off topic, sir.
Nah, we on topic.
How we on topic? How's that blood thickening water?
And this virus thickening this podcast, because this bullshit been going on for 3 years. This is the 3rd year anniversary in March, but I'm not.
And then another thing too, another reason why, but this isn't even like a toxic, well, I guess it is toxic, but another reason why I can't have my parents live with me. So one thing that my mom had said, she was talking about when you're taking care of me one day, I'm gonna be walking around topless and your husband gonna be like, oh, your mom looks so great. And I'm like, who says these things? Like, and why is that exactly timeout?
Guard.
Pause.
Yo.
Let's dial this one back just a little bit, okay? Let's take a little breather, because
I'm legally blind.
Because, ma'am,
yo,
what are you saying to me right now? Like, what are you saying? That doesn't. Anyways,
what did she say?
What did he say?
Hey, nah.
Nah, exactly. But
all right. So with blood being thicker than water, I think that you got the option to choose your family. You don't have to like divorce your family or.
No, some people do that though. Like, they'll legally divorce their family.
What they did to get divorced? They should have acted right.
In the court. Oh, what you mean? Oh,
the family.
Oh, what did the family do? Oh yeah.
If
definitely.
I'm to the point where I gotta divorce my family, either somebody put in my head or the family was acting in a certain way, I'm like, hey,
I don't think anybody could put that inside of my head. I feel like it's gonna have to be.
Some people could be convinced. Of
easily
stuff.
convinced.
I mean, like, Not for anything. There's
Yeah.
some people that court is a thing for them. So anything, I'm divorcing you.
Going to
My
court.
family. Yeah.
Going to
I could
court.
divorce my family.
Handling
I'm gonna do
this
it.
legally.
Yeah. But you get to choose. You got choices. Like you
Yeah.
go to school, you start, you go outside,
But
your
then-
neighborhood, whatever. You pick your friends.
Yeah.
Then friends become best friends. You hang with your friends so much. Y'all so close. Y'all say y'all cousins.
Mhm.
It's different options. It's always a choice on stuff. to
There's
do.
always a choice podcast, which is
Yeah.
what we're live streaming right now.
Mhm.
Anyways, but also saying that there's always a choice with the just okay. So people or family, whatever, they'll kind of look back and be like, "Oh, that was the past. You know, I was raising you, et cetera, and stuff like that." You had a choice. There's always a choice on how to raise somebody, though, or you know how to go about your life, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're gonna treat somebody shitty and feel like, oh, they're gonna stick around anyways, or they should be, you know, around anyways because oh, you're my family, et cetera. You know, you got to put up with my BS. It doesn't really matter. It's like no, you can't be a shitty person to me just because you think I'm gonna stay because you're my family. Like that's exactly, you had a choice to be a decent human being and you chose the opposite.
Yeah.
And I feel like people also probably think that it's like a kind of like, I don't want to say a filter, but you're just expected to not care as much basically. And it's like family treating family not as like, you know, friends or anything like that, but just treating you as oh whatever, but then still wanting to keep the closeness of friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like if something, let's say you won the lottery or something like that, and then your toxic family members come to you and they're like, hey, what's up? You know? And it's like they expect you to do to give out like friendship benefits when they were treating you like a piece of crap, etc.
It's gonna happen. I hope y'all don't win the lotto.
You say you
Well,
don't
no,
think-
I hope you win the lotto, but
You say
know.
you don't? Or
No,
you
no,
say-
but well, I hope y'all don't win the lotto and get that kind of stuff. Like you know, you
Yeah.
got family members jumping out the woodwork, family or friends, whoever stands beside you when shit get rough. Those like
Mhm.
those the people that's made from your DNA.
Yeah.
But it's still different because different people they're not made for certain things. That don't mean they love you any less. It's just go with your heart, man. Trust your gut. You know your intuition of
Yeah.
who you want to stick beside and who
Definitely.
sticks beside you, and hopefully it stays mutual when life has its ups and downs because it's a bumpy
Yeah.
road sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's smooth too. I personally have people in my life where I try to keep people around that's based on energy that comes about when you come around. Like I walk through the room, I've seen like my little brother's eyes, he just literally light up, they sparkle, and I'm like, I already enjoy being around him, and he'll just, if I go to aftercare, he'll get out at a certain time, he leaves the line, he just runs to me, just hugs me. I'm like, yo, like when you got that type of family bond and that connection,
You
it's
wanna
like,
keep it.
yeah, like how you mess stuff up like that. I'm not late to go pick him up. I'm early, just do things. It's just random. So you could have that with your friends. You know, that group. Y'all always go out to eat or just crazy shit like 2 in the morning. Like, yo, man, hey, you hungry? I went to the thing. I bought you some mac and cheese. It's in the fridge.
Yeah, exactly. And then just for me, I don't know. I feel like if you're not gonna treat me, just give me like common human decency, you know, like just don't be like an asshole, and then we're gonna be cool, you know. It's no problems, you know. I might not be close to you, but at least you know I won't have any problems with you. Like just bruh, so many problems could have been solved with people just showing like common human decency. Like so many problems, so many altercations avoided. If they would have just showed a little bit of human decency. And that's something that, you know, people, I don't even know if it's people lack. I feel like people definitely have it inside of them, but sometimes they just don't want to show it, or they don't feel the need to show it, or maybe, you know.
When you just said don't want to show it, like I think sometimes it's a messed up cycle where if a parent was raised a certain way, then they think like this is the blueprint to raise my seed, my kids, and then their kids might pick up on that. It's like just island parents. You talk to a lot of island people, and most of the parents say and do the same things. I'm just like, what handbook they got? What store was selling this manuscript of bullshit that they all bought into because
Mm-hmm.
it's wild. But some of us, they said, raised on love or survival, and the ones raised on love, they'll vibe. The ones that raised on survival, we gotta learn. They different.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's, just when you mentioned punishments and stuff like that with Caribbean parents and stuff like that. Oh my God! I started thinking back to one of my friends telling me about. They were Haitian. They were telling me about something called ajunu, which is basically, I think it was they sit, or no, they get on their knees and they're sitting in rice and they hold out their hands or something like that. It was just something crazy, and I'm just like, that is child abuse. Like, it's not like. Is it actually child? I don't know. It's not really child abuse, but like, oh my God.
It's
That's
not
what,
necessary.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. At that
It's
point,
not
I feel like
necessary.
I would prefer a whipping over like sitting, like having my knees in rice. That just sounds painful. I'm glad I didn't have to do that because that
They
sounds horrible.
they have some research. I don't know how accurate it is. It makes sense to me when I heard it. You're supposed to punish a child based on the minutes of their age. So
Mm.
if they 5 years old or something, like 2 minutes, I guess. But if they 10 minute punishment. But like
What
10
happened to
minute time out.
workout punishments or something like that? Working out.
Yeah, get
Like
them calculator,
exactly.
fall
I like
asleep.
those better when they make them work out because then it's like you getting active, you moving your body around. It's not as bad as like. Well, it could be bad if they push them to the limit, but it's really not as bad. Like I prefer that. Make them do a plank.
I don't really want to get too personal into it. I
Yeah.
dropped what I could, but we all got our experiences, and for the most part, my overall family, it could be a vibe, but it's embracing the reality of family is not what your friend's family might be, or what TV might show you, or what
Mhm.
social media, or however it is, where you have an idea of it, and you could work on building within your family with ideas of how to bond and things to do, and you could also be a person that breaks generational curses if you notice any in your family, or
Yeah.
if you want to step into the place of the person to do that.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
like we said, it's a choice. You get to
There's always a
choose
choice.
how much you want to interact with your family, what you put up with, speak up for yourself when you can, like put your foot down, stand 10 toes,
Yeah.
and whether it's
Well, some
family or
people
friend.
they might be in like, because I'm sure could be some viewers that are minors still and they don't really have like the chance to speak their mind and stuff like that in their household because it's toxic and it's like they're gonna get in trouble even if they do like talk back or anything like that. In cases like that, I say just keep your head down. Like I wouldn't even try to like put up with it. But then even oh my god, even with that, some parents be like, "Oh, why are you so quiet?"
Oh, man.
Like exactly, like there's really no winning sometimes. Like I don't know, meditate. Try to do something to freaking, release that stress until you can get the hell out of that house.
A reminder: your parents' life, the lives they live, it isn't your fault. No matter how, what some of them might tell you and try to put the burden on you and make you feel bad about where they at, or blame you for how things are going. It's not your fault.
Exactly. Because how somebody treats you is not a reflection. It doesn't have anything to do with you, how somebody treats you. It has everything to do with that other person. People can only love you on the level that they love themselves. And yeah, that might sound kind of shitty because, I could be talking about people's parents and shit like that or family. But it's all actuality. Like, somebody can really only love you as much as they love themselves. So if they're not showing no love to nobody, they probably have low self-esteem with themselves. They don't fucking love themselves, but don't let that drag you down and make it seem like, oh, there's something wrong with me, because there's nothing wrong with you.
And I got a quick pointer that came to mind. Like, the way your grandmother loves you might not have been the way that she loved your mom and dad. Because
Yeah.
if, like, as you move along, you notice, like, younger people get treated a little different. So, by, grandparents, because they probably at a point where it's like, yo, I got grandkids, and different things get activated in people based on where they are in their life and how they feel. And I don't know the kind of things our parents did when they were coming up. Some of it might be similar, some of it might be better, some of it might be worse. But yeah, just
To piggyback off of what you said with the grandma thing, I remember I seen this damn post on Instagram. It was like, my kids see a loving grandma, I see an old woman battered and trying to get into heaven in the last stages of her life because
Oh man,
nah, for real.
she was wilding out.
Yeah, exactly, because that's not the way that the grandma treated them. So now it's just an old woman trying to get into heaven. Let me take care of these grandbabies.
Hi, grandma.
Anyways, do you want to
You
wrap
baking cookies?
Oh.
Huh? Well, I'll talk to my grandma. Yeah,
You had anything else to say? You wanted to wrap up?
we can wrap up. Some of these topics we pick, the discussion points, it might be a straight line. It might venture off different avenues, different veins, different like veins and arteries of the streets on the highway of life, and we got a destination to get to, but you might detour sometimes. So some might be touchy, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Oh yeah, next week
time.
Tuesdays. And yeah, this is the second episode for There's Always a Choice podcast with
Respect.
Althea and Robert. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.